Lindsey Graham has done a lot of deplorable things, from trying to manipulate the state legislator, the Republican state legislator at that, in Georgia, into throwing out perfectly legal votes, attempting to disenfranchise voters and to suppress voters based on their race, ethnicity, and political preferences via public pressure campaigns, and also spreading allegations of voter fraud. He's done a lot of deplorable things. He should not be serving in the United States Congress. I really wish that Senator Graham would just retire and give up, quit, do something else, because politics is not for people like him who are corrupt, who are racist, who are bigots, and who are complete opportunists. And at any given time will say anything to maintain their power and control over the American people instead of representing the people. So, Aaron Burnett of CNN actually did some really good reporting on Graham. And, I know CNN's not good for their, known for their good reporting. They're known for being talking heads, but she did do some good reporting. And watch how she just reveals not only the type of person Lindsey Graham is, being an opportunist, but also after initially resisting the Trump administration, how much of a CUCK he became to Donald Trump. And basically, how he kissed Donald Trump's ass the entire time of him being in office until it got in too deep. Then he decided to jump ship. So let's take a look at this clip, and boy, are you guys in for a treat.
Tonight, out of bounds, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham warning President-elect Joe Biden that he needs to come out against Donald Trump's second impeachment, with a reason that you must hear yourself to believe.
You talk about unifying the country. If you do not stand up against the impeachment of President Trump after he leaves office, you're an incredibly weak figure in American history. President Trump is trying to heal the nation. Pursuing impeachment after he leaves the office will further divide the country.
Okay, let's just start with President Trump is trying to heal the nation. He hasn't even spoken live once. Look at the tweets, look at the, okay. Never mind. Have you looked at our nation's capital, Senator? It looks like a war zone ahead of the inauguration because President Trump and his allies pushed baseless lies saying that the election was a fraud. And if you want to talk about weak, Senator Graham might want to look in the mirror because the definition of a weak figure in American history is this.
And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
In 100 days plus, he's done more to reset the world than Obama did in 8 years.
The bottom line is that I believe Donald Trump would be an absolute, utter disaster for the Republican Party. I am all in. Keep it up, Donald. I think his campaign is opportunistic, race-baiting, religious bigotry, xenophobia. Other than that, he'd be a good nominee.
I don't believe President Trump is a racist person.
Senator Graham became the sycophant-in-chief under President Trump. And then there were the times, do you remember, where he would try to maintain his credibility by pretending to take a stand. Like when President Trump said that there were, quote, very fine people in both sides in Charlottesville. Senator Graham at the time said to Trump, quote, your words are dividing Americans, not healing them. President Trump took a step backward by again suggesting there is moral equivalency between the white supremacist neo-Nazis and KKK members who attended the Charlottesville rally and people like Heather Heyer. But then, a couple months later, Senator Graham, who became one of the president's favorite golfing buddies, golfing with him and bragging about it, tweeting, really enjoyed a round of golf with President Trump today. Great fun, great host. Or what about the Supreme Court? He tried then again to dabble in credibility. In 2016, Senator Graham defended the Senate's refusal to hold hearings for Merrick Garland. He vowed he would refuse to do so if an opening happened 4 years later.
I want you to use my words against me. If there's a Republican president in 2016 and a vacancy occurs in the last year of the first term, you can say, Lindsey Graham said, let's let the next president, whoever it might be, make that nomination.
Oh, but then it was his president, his dear Donald.
There's nothing unconstitutional about this process. This is a vacancy that's occurred through a tragic loss of a great woman, and we're going to fill that vacancy.
That from the same man who said this just hours after a violent pro-Trump mob stormed the Capitol for an insurrection President Trump helped incite. Graham's last stand.
Trump and I, we've had a hell of a journey. I hate it being this way. Oh my God, I hate it. From my point of view, he's been a consequential president. But today, first thing you'll see, all I can say is count me out. Enough is enough.
Wow. Count me out. After trying to obstruct the election, after trying to disenfranchise voters, black voters, and also urban voters in general, but specifically black voters, trying to throw out people's votes to help Trump win an election. Now it's count me out. You see, the problem with people like Lindsey Graham is they do whatever they think is going to help them get an advantage at the time. So if saying, hey, there was voter fraud and we need to have stronger voter laws because we need to prevent fraud. If he thinks that's going to get Trump's base to love him, then he's going to do that. But if he thinks going against Donald Trump may get him other Republicans, it may help his chances, he's going to do that. He's a flip-flopper. He's wishy-washy. Either way, whether he's going for Trump or against Trump, he's a CUCK. You know? I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. This guy's a pussy. Because whenever someone says, whenever it's about money, like when he thought, oh, I can get money from Trump's faction, because Trump basically, I don't know if you guys know this. I talked about it in another video. Trump basically set up his own lobbying group, basically, that can fund candidates. So he set up his own Republican funding for candidates. And I believe it was $35 million in the fund at one point. Probably more now. And basically he was going to fund candidates who were loyal to him. So Graham's thinking, I can get that money. So basically he's, licking Trump's ass. Oh, such a great golf host. Oh, Trump is so great. Oh, he's one of the most consequential presidents in American history. Oh, yes. You know what? I love Trump. So he can get that money. But the minute corporations start saying, hey, we can't fund these Republicans because they're supporting Trump, he's like, oh, no, please. Oh, no. Oh, please don't take my money. I'll do anything. I'll kiss your ass. Count me out with Trump. I was just kidding. All that stuff I said about voter suppression? Just kidding. I don't want to keep black people from voting. I mean, I don't want to keep people who I don't agree with from voting, I think everyone should have the right to vote, just not the black ones. I mean, wait, I don't think this is going to help me out. No, I believe in free voting for everyone. Yes, the people have spoken. Count me out. Yeah, totally didn't support Trump. Never did that. Wishy-washy, man. Wishy-washy. You know what? When you're a slave to corporate money, you're a slave to corporate America, and you'll do anything they say to get a check, you end up looking just like Lindsey Graham. Just like Lindsey Graham. When the Republican establishment says, all right, fine, we're going to support Trump, even though you didn't support Trump previously, and you hated Trump, now you love Trump. And you're like, oh, Trump's the greatest, All that stuff I said about him, I was just joking, Love Trump. And then your corporate donors say, hey, bitch, stop supporting Trump. Yes, master. Yes, master. I won't do it. I promise. I'll stop now. I was just kidding. I don't actually like Trump. I was just, I was just trying to protect my interest. I mean, I was just trying to bring the party together. Yes, unity. Spare us. And now he has the nerve to say Joe Biden needs to pardon President Trump, and Joe Biden needs to stop his party from impeaching Trump because Trump's trying to bring the country together. Are you kidding me? Trump is literally the reason that the country is falling apart. Although he's not the sole reason, he's contributed to a lot of the divide that we see in America today. Much of the political divide has been stoked by Trump. The flames were already there. They just need a little bit of tinder. The tinder was already there. They just needed a spark. Trump sparked the tinder and then dumped gasoline on it. And you're saying this guy is trying to heal America. Donald Trump has not had a public speech since his cabinet basically forced him to come out against the violence. Because if not, they were probably going to use the 25th Amendment on him. Which they should use. The guy's crazy. The guy is a psycho. I mean, anyone who could lose an election by 8 million votes, never win a popular vote, ever, and still say, I won the election, there was voter fraud, and the Dominion machines are corrupted because Biden is China, and Hunter Biden is China too, China, therefore I won. Anybody who can believe that is gotta be crazy, okay? Gotta be psycho. So they should have used the 25th Amendment. Anyway, you have Lindsey Graham saying that Biden would be the quote-unquote weakest president in American history if he didn't stop Trump from being investigated and Trump from being impeached. Do you not realize that Donald Trump is the worst president in U.S. history? Yes, even worse than George W. Bush. I'm like, if he can at least get to Bush level, that is a low bar, man. He's worse than President Bush. And you supported this guy and stood by him. Jumped ship when you thought it wasn't convenient because you're a cuck to big money and big corporations and your donors. And now you're saying, oh, well, I think that Biden should just not only stop impeachment, but, maybe he should give him a pardon. Yeah, maybe he should throw him a parade and say how great of a president he was. And then, will you stop it, Lindsey Graham? Stop. Just quit while you're ahead. Quit. We all know what you're doing. You're trying to protect your interests. You're trying to get MAGA voters while also getting regular Republican voters so they can say, oh, look, isn't he so reasonable? Yes, he wants to bring the country together. But MAGA voters, he's saying that Trump should be held, Trump should be not impeached. Oh, this guy's great. Let me vote for him. He's just like Trump. Come on, man. We know what you're doing. Being a political opportunist and having no ideology will forever make you a slave. You'll either be a slave to someone like Donald Trump or you'll be a slave to corporations. But Lindsey Graham, he has no freedom. When he wakes up in the morning, each and every move that he makes must be calculated in order to protect his power and his seat in the office which he holds, which he should be serving the American people, but it's not because he serves corporations. Big money. That's who Lindsey Graham is. He's a person who only cares about how much money he can make, how much power he can hold on to, and keeping his power for the sake of power while not doing anything productive. So, when you want to talk about what Joe Biden should do and talk about how he's weak, you're weak. Because you get nothing done. Nothing at all. So you can miss me with that. Honestly, it's really time for Lindsey Graham to retire. To be honest, he should have been removed from office after he tried to get legal votes tossed out. That definitely violated a federal law. But, the rest of Congress is corrupt too. So why would they attack one of their own? And that goes for the centrist Democrats too. But, here you have it, guys. Lindsey Graham being an idiot. And, credit to CNN. You'll rarely hear me give them credit, but for reminding us of how much of a wishy-washy idiot and how much of a cuck Lindsey Graham really is.